Deep in the heart of the South African bush, at MalaMala Game Reserve, two young explorers are on a very special adventure. Melua and her brother Luca, together with their guide Lucky, set off on a journey of discovery, meeting some very interesting characters along the way. Join Melua and Luca on their MalaMala Kids Safari. With so many leafy trees at MalaMala, Melua and Luca head out in search of the animals that eat them. They find the tallest animal on Earth, a giraffe. Giraffe are known as browsers, only eating leaves from trees. At over 5 meters tall, they have no trouble reaching the highest branches that other animals cannot get to, wrapping their long tongues around the juiciest leaves.
The giraffe was eating thorns this big, but it didn't even hurt him.
Giraffes are so tall that they could look into a second-story window without having to stand on their tiptoes.
How many bones does the giraffe have in its neck?
They have 7 bones in their neck, just like humans. They call them vertebrae.
Let's check our fact file.
Because of their size, they need very strong hearts to pump blood all the way up to their brain. A giraffe's heart weighs about 11 kilograms. When giraffes are born, they already stand as tall as a man. Drinking is rather tricky for a giraffe. When they lower their heads, all the blood rushes to their brain. They must drink very quickly so they don't get dizzy and pass out. They must also be careful not to slip. Their favorite food is leaves from the spiky acacia trees. They have extremely long eyelashes to protect their eyes from the sharp thorns. Their tongues are also very tough, so they don't get hurt if they chew on a thorn by mistake.
Another browsing animal is the majestic kudu. The males have beautiful spiraled horns, which sweep up in curls like a fabulous headdress.
I was so surprised that the kudu was so well camouflaged. It was almost the same color as the grass.
The kudu cannot reach the topmost branches, so they nibble on smaller trees and shrubs.
Kudu have long stripes down their bodies, helping them blend in with the bushes. This camouflage helps them hide from danger. When the male runs through thick bush, they tilt their heads back so they don't get tangled up in the branches. Kudu are excellent high jumpers and can jump over 3.5 meters easily. That's like jumping over a person standing on another person's shoulders.
Melua and Luca head off in search of other browsers. They come across a beautiful antelope called a nyala. They look similar to kudu, but the males are darker, and they have a lovely white mane all the way down their backs. They also look like they are wearing brown socks up to their knees. Nyala like eating very small bushes close to the ground, and fallen leaves and even fruit that has already dropped to the floor. Female nyala look very different and are light brown with distinct white stripes. Sometimes nyala will even eat grass. This means they are browsers and grazers. As they head to the river, they find a very strange antelope indeed. Look at that white bottom.
It's easy to spot a waterbuck because it has a round ring around its butt.
A waterbuck mostly grazes grass, but will occasionally browse leaves from small trees.
The waterbuck's bum was so funny, I thought he sat on a tin of paint.
The white ring on their bottoms acts as a follow me sign for other waterbuck in their herd. As they walk through thick bush or even reeds, they can spot each other easily from behind. They have beautiful white markings above their eyes that look like bushy eyebrows. Waterbuck really do love water. Their skin produces special oils to help their fur from getting soggy, acting like a waterproof coat. This oil is rather smelly, and you can always smell when a waterbuck is near.
Join Melua and Luca on their next exciting kids safari adventure. Luca and Melua leave South Africa's MalaMala, flying north to the Namib Desert. In the heart of the world's oldest desert, two young explorers are on a very special adventure. It's a wild voyage of discovery, with plenty of interesting characters to meet along the way. Their journey takes them deep into Africa's Namib Desert. It's a huge unexplored wilderness, with the promise of fun, mystery, and excitement at every turn. Join Luca and his sister Melua on their expedition into the Namib. Today, Melua and Luca are off to a most beautiful and unusual part of the desert. These incredible mounds of smooth rock are called the Spitzkoppe Mountains. On their way, they spot a male ostrich with his black and white feathers, picking up seeds and insects off the desert floor.
Ostriches are the fastest creatures on two legs. They can run at over 70 kilometers per hour. Although they have rather small brains, they have enormous eyes, the same size as billiard balls. The males have beautiful black feathers, while the females have brown feathers. This is because when they have eggs, the male sits on them at night. He is dark, so he isn't spotted by predators. The female takes the day shift, and her brown color means she is camouflaged against the desert floor.
As they get closer to the mountains, they begin to see the incredible shapes formed over millions of years of weather erosion. Scientists think the mountains are over 120 million years old. They also begin to see how enormous they are. Eager to get out the car, they begin exploring.
Look at this! Isn't this rock beautiful? I bet I could climb that rock over there. The Spitzkoppe Mountains were ginormous. I love climbing the rocks.
each of the mountains are actually very far apart from each other, so they have to get back in the car to reach the next one. When they arrive, they find something spectacular.
We came around a corner and suddenly there was this big bridge made out of stone.
This rock didn't always look this way. It has taken millions of years of wind and rain to shape it like this. As the softer rock is eroded away, it leaves this hard archway behind.
I really liked the views from the rock arch. They looked amazing. There were so many places that we could climb.
From their viewpoint on the big bridge, they spot an even bigger mountain. So they head off to see if they can climb it. It's like a giant playground, and they spend many hours exploring. They soon lose track of time until the sun begins to set and the rocks glow a bright red color, turning their journey into a space mission.
It felt like we were astronauts walking on the surface of Mars. The camp felt tiny compared to the huge desert.
Without any city lights to create light pollution, the night sky is a blanket of twinkling stars. The stars are so amazing, they decide to spend the night right here in the mountains. The next day, the kids are eager to resume their mission.
Let's go climb that mountain. Those mountains are too big. Let's go climb that.
They soon discover that getting to the top is much harder than it looks. But it's still great fun running about, high above the desert floor.
From the top of the mountains, we could see really far.
Climbing the highest peak of the Spitzkoppe is incredibly hard. There is a legend that the first person to ever reach the top was a German who supposedly made it to the top in 1904 and made a fire on the summit. What he may have burned remains a mystery, as there is absolutely nothing aside from stone on the peak. The legend suggests that he never returned and he simply disappeared.
When they can't climb anymore, it's time to say goodbye to the towering Spitzkoppe Mountains and head back to camp. It's been a really long day, and they need to be ready for tomorrow.
When I'm older, I want to come back and climb to the top of that mountain.
Join Melua and Luca on their next exciting Kids Safari adventure.